Hey everybody, it's Emily at ARG Schooling, and today I'm going to bring you a book outlet unboxing and a small-ish, for me, book haul. I've been collecting books all month because it's what I do, and most of them are actually still for grade 11 for Build Your Library, but I do have a few that I bought for other things or for my own reading enjoyment. But I'll start with the grade 11 books. So I'll show you guys what I got for that. Most of these are for the science, which is going to be chemistry. I have Radium Girls by Kate Moore. I've been hearing good things about this book. It's all about these girls who were, I think they were clock painters. Yeah, they worked in factories painting the heads of clocks with radium to make them glow. It was like a big fad back in the early 20s, I believe, and they all got radium poisoning, and they had to put up this huge fight to sue the companies, and no one would believe them that that was what was causing the poisoning. And there's some really horrific pictures in here too, but it sounds like a really interesting story. I also have Periodic Tales, A Cultural History of the Elements from Arsenic to Zinc, and this is by Hugh Aldersley Williams. And I think that the title pretty much speaks for itself. It's about the periodic table, and it sounds really interesting. It's set up as stories about each of the elements and how they were discovered, or something interesting about the elements. I also have Napoleon's Buttons, 17 Molecules That Changed History by Penny Lee Couture, I don't know how you say that name, and Jay Burrison. I have heard this book talked about numerous times as a really great living chemistry book, but I honestly did not look into it very much. I automatically purchased it because I'd heard so many people say how awesome it is. So I really don't know a whole lot about this one going in, but it's very hyped, so I'm hoping that it's good. I also have Trinity, A Graphic History of the First Atomic Bomb by Jonathan Feder-Vorm, and this is a graphic novel. It's black and white illustrations, and it's all about the building of the atomic bomb. And I'm excited to pick this up, actually, because I really enjoyed Bomb when I read it for the World War II unit study, and I believe it's also in, I don't know, it was in grade 8, I believe. And I really enjoyed that book. And so I was hoping to find something a little more mature, and I stumbled upon this graphic novel. So I'm excited to pick it up and see if it's as good as Bomb. And I have The Joy of Chemistry, The Amazing Science of Familiar Things. I am always on the lookout for really interesting living books that'll bring a topic to life, and based on the reviews and the little bit I've flipped through this, I think this fits the bill for a living chemistry book. The rest of these are just books that I picked up because they struck my eye as something that I would enjoy or that I've been looking for. This one is Guts and Glory of the Vikings by Ben Thompson. I have been looking for forever for a children's book about Vikings. I don't know why this is the unicorn of books. I just can't seem to find anything that isn't either really dull or way too mature. And I stumbled onto this by accident. I don't know what I was looking for, but this came up as a recommended, and I was like, what is that? So I had to buy it. This is more middle grade than elementary level. It's set up like a chapter book, but it has a lot of information, and it looks like a really interesting resource for studying the Vikings. I was super excited to find this. I'm really looking forward to picking it up. I think it looks like a really good read. It covers specific Vikings that you should know about. It covers the Great Heathen Army, the Siege of Paris. I don't know, it looks awesome. So I'm excited that I found this. I hope that it's good. I'll let you guys know. I also picked up The Thing About Jellyfish by Ali Benjamin. Again, a book that I've heard a lot of people talk about. I actually bought this because I was looking for living books to use in Build Your Library grade 6 for the science. I have the literary science project where I give a selection of books to read, and they do a writing project with it. Yeah, I've heard this book mentioned on a lot of different places, and I had just finished A World Without Fish, which talked quite a bit about jellyfish, and then I saw this title and I thought, I wonder, and after reading the description of it, I thought that would actually make a perfect fit to go along with a little bit of info about climate change. So I haven't read it yet. I'm hoping to pick this up really soon, actually, because I'm very curious about it. So if you've read this, let me know what you think, because I'm probably going to pick this up in the next day or two. I got this next book for my daughter, who is obsessed with pigs. And I heard about it from my husband's aunt, who is a librarian. She mentioned to me that this was coming out, and I had to buy it. It's called The Unlikely Story of a Pig in the City, and this is by Jodi Kendall. And it's a modern day, it's billed as a modern day Charlotte's Web about a friendship between a girl and a pig. And I mean, how could I resist that? That sounds so cute. And the pig's name is Hamlet. It's Hamlet. That's like the cutest name for a pig. I'm excited to read this with her. We're probably going to do this as our next read aloud, because I think we're both equally excited about it. I picked up Wish Tree by Katherine Applegate. She is the author of The One and Only Ivan, which I really liked. And this book is about a tree that stands in a park, and it looks over all the people, and one day something hateful is carved into it, and it's about prejudice, and it sounds really like a really interesting viewpoint for that, and it's by Katherine Applegate, so I had to pick it up because it sounds like something that I would enjoy. This again is middle grade fiction, and it's got illustrations in it, and yeah, so I'm hoping this is good. I'm also probably going to be reading this really soon because I've been very curious about it. And the last book I want to show you from the just random books that I've been buying is Invictus. I have been so excited about this book. This is by Ryan Groudon, who you know I love because she wrote The Wolf by Wolf and Blood for Blood duology, and I love those books a lot. And I heard about this book, and it sounds so interesting. This book is about time travel, and it's about this character who is born outside of time, and he has this ability to travel through time, and there's a heist on the Titanic, I believe, and it just sounds so interesting and cool and weird, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to picking this up. I don't know when it's going to happen. I have way too many books to read, but this one is definitely high on my list that I want to get to. And now we're going to do some unboxing. I just got this today, so I haven't even peeked in here yet. I'm pretty sure I remember what I bought, but I guess we'll find out. So I have Fair Fight by Anna Freeman, which actually had been sitting in my book outlet cart for probably a solid month. And it's billed as Fight Club, but Victorian and women. So I was like, that sounds amazing. Oh yes, I got Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard by Rick Riordan. I'm going to share my unpopular opinion. I didn't like Percy Jackson, so I've never picked up any of his other books, but I really enjoy reading about Vikings, and it's hard to find middle grade or YA or anything in that genre for Vikings. I don't know why this is impossible. Vikings are fascinating. Why is there not more? So I decided to give this a go. I hope I like it better than Percy Jackson. If nothing else, I know my daughter will enjoy it because she did like Percy Jackson. I have The Marlowe Papers, a novel by Ross Barber. And actually, again, this has been sitting in my book outlet cart for quite a while. There's a show called Will that my husband and I have been watching, and it's sort of a really weird, a weird Shakespearean, like psychedelic, I don't know how to describe it. I have a love-hate relationship with it because it's like punk rock Shakespeare, and I don't know how I feel about it yet. I kind of like it, and I also kind of don't. Christopher Marlowe is one of the main characters in the show, and I thought about how I really don't know hardly anything about Christopher Marlowe, and then I saw this book and thought, hey, that might be interesting to read. So again, I actually don't know hardly anything about this book, besides that it's about Christopher Marlowe and his work. Okay, here's a couple books that I don't remember why I bought them. So, I have A Wicked Thing by Rhiannon Thomas, and, this is, I want to say, this is a Sleeping Beauty retelling, so apparently there was a sale on fairy tale retellings or something. And then I don't remember this book. I know that there was a reason I put it in my cart. A Green and Ancient Light by Frederick S. Durbin. And I don't know. I think this might have been a cover buy. I saw the cover and the title and I liked it. And I'm like, that might be interesting. And I'm reading the synopsis and I'm like, yeah, I don't remember this book. Do you guys do that to make me not feel so stupid for doing that? My husband's over here laughing at me and shaking his head no. I'm sure that I'm not the only person who buys a bunch of books on sale on Book Outlet and then forgets about why I bought some of them. Anyway, I'm reading the synopsis and this one's got to do with a grove of statues and a riddle. And it sounds like a fantasy, fairy tale-ish book. Okay, this one I bought because we've been on our horror movie marathon and we've been talking about different people who are really big in the horror movie industry. And I saw this book by Clive Barker and was like, ooh, Clive Barker. So I picked up, it's The Great and Secret Show. Again, I don't actually know a lot about the book, but I saw Clive Barker and I got excited, so I bought it. So I don't know what this is about, honestly. And the back does not really help me. Yeah. There's something about armies between good and evil, possibly? Yeah. So I don't know what that is about, but it's Clive Barker, so I'm sure it's probably really weird and interesting and bizarre. So I hopefully will enjoy reading that. And then I have... Oh yes, I've now, I believe, completed this series. I have the rest of the books in this series by Terry Pratchett and Stephen Baxter. This is The Long Cosmos, which I think is the 4th book. So, it's a thrilling conclusion. I now have the whole series. Maybe I'll get around to reading them. But I really wanted to complete the series. I don't know why. This is a space opera, I believe, and it just sounds like something I would enjoy. I just haven't had a chance to pick it up yet. And this last book, this is actually the thing that made me commit to purchasing all these books. I sit there and I collect books in my shopping cart all month, or sometimes for months at a time, and I never buy them because I'm trying to control myself. And then I saw this book and I'm like, hey, I literally was just about to buy this for full price on Amazon and I can get it for much cheaper on Book Outlet. So I went ahead and bought all the books in my cart. So it's logic that makes sense to me. And that is Hex by Thomas Old Huvelt. And this is about a cursed town. I had just heard, I want to say Stephanie, if that's what she read, I think, was talking about this book. And I'd heard about it in somewhere else. And then I saw it on a list of creepy books you should read. And I was like, okay, that's 3 different places. I need to buy this book. And so I went ahead and picked it up, and it sounds really interesting. It's about a cursed town that there was a witch, and they trapped the witch, but the town is cursed and no one can leave. And so these kids release the witch, I want to say, and all hell breaks loose. So I don't know. I think it sounds really good, and it's kind of getting hyped now for me, and I'm hoping that I really like it. That concludes my unboxing and haul. I hope you guys enjoyed watching all my bookish geeking out over all this. I have so many books now. I don't know why I keep doing this. I'm literally running out of shelf space, which is absurd because we just built all these shelves. I should never run out of shelf space, but there it is. I don't even know how many books this is. How many books do I have here?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
See, I was going into this thinking, oh, it'll just be a small haul this time. And it's not. It's not small. You know, it never feels like it's going to be this many books when you're buying them. I hope you enjoyed this video. Did you buy any books this month? Make me feel less guilty for this ridiculousness. And I will see you guys in my next video. Happy reading. Bye!